Hello, my name is Bob Kleber, and I'm one of the financial advisors here at Advance Capital. Besides your home, the vehicle you drive is probably the most expensive part of your monthly budget, and retirement doesn't change that. So today I wanted to take the opportunity to discuss the various ways you have for obtaining and paying for that primary mode of transportation. Now, before you decide how you might want to purchase a vehicle, you should decide whether leasing may make more sense. Now, leasing offers a number of advantages, such as you're never out of warranty, you always get to drive a newer car, and it often presents a smaller financial outlay on a monthly basis. However, if you're considering leasing, don't look at it as an opportunity to drive a more expensive car than you could otherwise afford to buy. Figure out the car that makes sense for you, that you could afford to purchase, and then decide whether leasing makes more sense for you. Leasing a car essentially signs you up for a never-ending car payment, so you want to make sure that you keep it as low as possible. Now, if you've decided that buying is the best option for you, then it's a matter of deciding whether or not you want to pay cash or finance it. However, one point I want to make very clear is something that I'm very fond of, which is buying used. Now, according to Edmunds, 11% of your car's value stays on the lot the minute you drive it off. 5 years later, that vehicle is only worth about 37% of what you paid for it at the dealership. Now, that's a huge opportunity and something that you could very well take advantage of. Now, means you won't have that new car smell, and you may not get the exact options or the vehicle in the exact color that you want, but it's something that could be very beneficial to you. Now, regardless of whether you decide to buy new or buy used, then you need to decide whether it's something you want to pay cash for or whether you want to finance it. And there's a number of factors that you want to consider. The first one is the impact on your cash flow. Now, if you were to take that money and pay cash for that vehicle, that means that on a monthly basis you won't have that car payment that you always have to worry about. However, all of that money is now gone. That won't be available for other things like emergencies or other things that may come up along the way. Another factor is the cost of that money. What we often find is the only access someone has for paying cash is to take money from a tax-deferred account like an IRA. Now, that means that you have to pay federal and state taxes on whatever withdrawal you take, which means that money can become very expensive. Now, there's no substitute for being debt-free, and the emotional impact of that is something that you can't overlook. However, you have to be able to justify the cost of that. The last factor is the cost credit. Now, with interest rates being as low as they are currently, you can often still find a 0% financing even, especially on new cars from car companies and dealerships. And that can be a very attractive thing, even if you are able to afford to pay cash for that car. However, what you will find is any rebates that you may be available to receive from paying cash are no longer available if you're taking advantage of the 0% financing. Now, as is always the case, buying, leasing, cash, or financing is an individual decision, and everybody's situation is just a little bit different. So if you have any further questions, please contact one of the advisors here at Advance Capital and we can help you walk through it. Thanks.